Welcome back, snow lovers, to another week in the Alps. A week which has been a virtual carbon copy of the last. We're still enjoying prolonged, dry, sunny, above average temperatures, which means great overhead conditions for being outside, but unfortunately not great snow conditions. The exception being the far southwest, the Alps Maritime and Italian Piemonte, which once again as I speak are currently getting absolutely dumped on with snow. A storm over the Mediterranean is drawing down cold air from the northeast, which as it butts up against the Italian barrier of the southwestern Alps, is causing quite considerable precipitation totals. The area around the Italian resort of Limone Piemonte is currently getting hit hardest. They've already seen around 50 centimetres of snow at altitude, and some places up on the mountain will be expecting to see over 70 centimetres of snow by the time this storm is finished. And the storm is even bringing snow down to quite low elevations, with snow currently falling below 1,000 metres. Slightly less snow is making it across onto the French side of the Alpine Divide, but even so, Isla 2000 is still getting hit hard once again. They're expecting to see around about 40 to 50 centimetres of snow by the time this is all over, with again the snow line falling back down below 1,000 metres temporarily. The snow is extending north, right up into the Aosta region, with moderate snowfall totals expected in both the Gran Paradiso National Park area and the southern slopes of the Monte Rosa Massif. And the Via Lattea, resorts such as Salsi and Sestria are also seeing their fair share of snowfall. The team from Salsi Online have just sent me this video from their balcony in the Susa Valley, where it's currently snowing quite heavily down at 1,000 metres, and indeed the snow line extends quite a bit beyond 1,000 metres. While it has clouded over north of the Alpine barrier on both the French and Swiss sides, as of yet little if any snowfall has made it across the mountains. Just got a little bit of light rain and drizzle down in the valley, a few grains of snow up on the mountain. But this time around, the likes of Savoie and Haute-Savoie in France and the Swiss valleys are missing out. But then we had more than our fair share at the end of November and start of December, so I really shouldn't be complaining too much. But further east is missing out yet again on this precipitation. The likes of Austria and the Italian Dolomites have seen virtually no snow throughout the whole of December, and while it's not quite panic stations yet, it is starting to look very, very dry and a little bit depressing right now. And the warm temperatures that we have been experiencing right across the Alps have also limited the opportunity to make snow as well, so they haven't even been able to fall back on their snow cannons to patch up some of the runs. So in a lot of the resorts out east, even at modest altitudes, the skiing is very, very limited. As it stands at the moment, high pressure is very slowly starting to lose its grip on Central Europe, drifting off towards Siberia, but only very, very slowly. This does mean that over the coming week and heading in towards the Christmas week, we will gradually start to see more precipitation crossing towards the Alps as weather systems can pass across Western Europe. But unfortunately, at the moment, there's still no signs of any proper cold weather on its way. Best case scenario at the moment, during the start of Christmas week, we're expecting average temperatures across the Alps, if not indeed slightly above average still. There are signs of cold air slowly starting to encroach on northern parts of Europe, but at this point in time, it's not yet due to reach the Alps before Christmas, it seems. But Christmas is still quite a long way off. We've got over a week to go yet, and it only takes a very minor change in the forecast models to have rain turn to snow or vice versa, so all is not lost quite yet. Some forecast models are starting to show colder air digging in around about Christmas Eve, but this particular graph here is averaged out over the whole of France, so in the north may well be much colder weather around about Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but at the moment it doesn't look like that will quite reach the Alpine region until probably after Christmas. But it does look likely that we will see some precipitation across the Alpine region over the festive period, so even if temperatures are still slightly above average, that does mean if you are visiting the higher altitude resorts, likes of Teens, Val d'Isère, Courchevel 1850, Val Thorens, etc., there is a reasonable possibility that you will see a white Christmas, so parts of the Alps may well see a proper white Christmas, but it is likely that many lower and mid-elevation resorts it will still be falling as rain, unfortunately. But again, that might change, so keep those fingers crossed. And speaking of Christmas, there's still time for some last-minute shopping for those stocking fillers for your snow-mad loved ones. So here's just a few suggestions from the sponsor of today's video, Outdoor Master, for anybody who loves skiing and snowboarding in your friends and family group. First of all, socks. Any skier or snowboarder will tell you they can never have too many pairs of ski socks. These are available as both merino and cotton options, with a variety of colours and designs available, and they are sold in packs of 1, 2 or 3. They are also available in kids sizes for both the cotton and merino options. And for adults, there is a snowboard specific cut in their cotton sock option as well. Likewise, gloves and mittens. You can never have too many options for gloves and mittens if you spend lots of time in the outdoors and especially in the mountains. Outdoor Master have 2 styles of mitten available and 1 style of gloves available for adults, as well as a glove option for kids as well. And these also come in different colour options too. For both out on the mountain and in and around town, the Outdoor Master ski beanie is both comfortable and stylish, and its one-size-fits-all design means it fits even my huge head. And this is available in a number of colours at a sensible price. And of course, Outdoor Master make a range of high-quality goggles to suit everybody's needs. And if you're looking for something towards the more budget end of the spectrum, then look no further than the Pro or Vision goggles, which are both available with or without replacement lenses at a very, very affordable price. And for the rest of December, I can offer you 20% off these items and everything on the Outdoor Master range, using the discount code ChamonixSkiBum20. You can find out more about that on the screen here and down in the description, but now is definitely the time to be making the most of this offer. Outdoor Master are a relatively new brand, but despite that, they are already one of the official suppliers of the USA ski and snowboard team, so despite their very affordable prices, they are trusted by the best. Back to the slopes, and as of this week, most alpine ski resorts are now at least partially open, and the remaining ones are due to be opening this weekend, the 20th of December. So even though in places snow might be thin and limited, you should be able to ski virtually everywhere in the Alps from now or from the coming days. And the resorts which have the snow will be opening up more and more terrain as this week progresses, as we inch towards full capacity over the Christmas week. If you are heading out to the Alps over Christmas, you can expect this coming Saturday the 20th to be one of the busiest weeks of the year on the roads and at the airports. Especially with the great early season snowfalls that we had in parts of the northern and western Alps, many people will have booked last minute trips to come out skiing in the Alps over the Christmas holidays. So you can expect long queues at the airports, lots of traffic on the roads. So if you are there, leave plenty of time and just be patient. You'll get to where you need to go eventually. But all the usual choke points we can expect to be very, very busy. And on that point, if you are flying and need to organise your own transfers from the airport to resort, then make sure you do that in advance. Don't leave it to the last minute, and certainly don't turn up at the airport expecting to be able to find transfers and transport, because everything may well already be full or be fully booked. Even if you're going to a resort which is accessible via public transport, if you're arriving on a busy transfer weekend, such as this coming weekend, don't expect you'll be able to find space, so don't leave it to the last minute. You may well end up being very disappointed. And to anybody travelling to the Chamonix Mont Blanc region, so the likes of Saint-Gervais and Megève as well, then I'd highly recommend booking with Mountain Drop-Offs as your airport transfer service. They're a previous employer of mine, so I can absolutely vouch for the quality and reliability of their service. So if you want to know more about them, you can do so via the QR code on the screen here and with the link down in the description. Before I bring you a roundup of the snow depths across the Alps, some useful information for anybody going to outdoors this season. As it stands currently, the Pic Blanc lift, which takes you all the way to the top at 3,330 metres, is closed. It received some major storm damage during the autumn storms, and as of yet they haven't managed to fix it. They are doing their best that they can, and they hope to be able to bring it back online at some point during the season, but as of yet that is TBD. So if you want to find out more information about that, I'll direct you to the video by Ride Along Sessions with Cookie, which I'll link somewhere in the description below. He gives you a lot more information there. So, starting once again in the east, where we've seen a slow but steady decline in the depth of the snowpack over the last week, and in Slovenia at Cope Mountain, they've got an upper snow depth of 35 centimetres and a lower snow depth of 25 centimetres, with their last meaningful snowfall being 6 centimetres on Friday the 5th of December. Neighbouring Rogla has 20 centimetres on their lower slopes and 30 centimetres on their upper slopes. In the Dolomites, Araba at the base of the Marmolada has upper snow depth of 60 centimetres and a lower snow depth of 20 centimetres, and they last received around 6 centimetres of snow on the 5th of December. And Civetta have an upper snow depth of 30 centimetres, but only 7 centimetres down in the valley. Slightly further west, and Bormio have 45 centimetres on their upper slopes and 20 centimetres on their lower slopes. It last snowed there on the 5th of December. And Solden have 60 centimetres on their upper slopes, 30 centimetres on their lower slopes, and also last snowed there on the 5th of December. In Austria, and Zellamsee has 46 centimetres of snow on their upper slopes and 10 centimetres on their lower slopes at the Schmittenhorn ski area, and up on the Kitzsteinhorn glacier they've got around 70 to 75 centimetres of snow depth. The glacier last received around 8 centimetres of snow on the 8th of December, but the Spitzenhof ski area hasn't received any meaningful snow since around the 24th of November. In the Ötztal, Obergurgl are reporting 50 centimetres of snow on their upper slopes, 25 centimetres of snow on their lower slopes, but on the nearby glacier Pensolden, they're reporting to only have around 42 centimetres of snow, so clearly there's more snow around mid-mountain than there is on the upper mountain in the Ötztal valley. But nearby Pitztal are still leading the way when it comes to snow depth of the Tyrolean ski areas, with an upper base of around 160 centimetres. Moving on into Switzerland, and Davos are reporting an upper snow base depth of 59 centimetres and lower depth of 14 centimetres, and they last received 5 centimetres of snow on the 8th of December. And on the sunny south-facing slopes of Crans-Montana, they have around 40 centimetres of snow on the upper mountain, but basically nothing down at resort level at the moment. And in Morjan, on the Swiss sides of the Porte du Soleil, they still have around a metre of snow at relatively modest elevations, thanks to the large snowfalls that they received back at the end of November and start of December. And on the French side of the border, Morzine and Avoria have still got great base depth there, with around 120 centimetres on their upper slopes and 37 centimetres on their lower slopes. Likewise, in Flaine, in the Grand Massif, they're still reporting great depths on their upper slopes with 140 centimetres. They're reporting to only have 7 centimetres on their lower slopes, but that's not likely to be in the resort of Flaine itself. It's probably down in Le Carreau and one of the other lower villages. You can expect that they've still got good snow cover up in Flaine itself. And in my neck of the woods, there's still plenty of snow on the north-facing slopes in Megève, with around 140 centimetres at the top and 20 centimetres down in the resort level. But on the south-facing slopes, they have largely lost most of the snow now down at resort level. Conditions are still very healthy in Alpe d'Huez, with upper snow depth around 120 centimetres, lower snow depth of 51 centimetres. And likewise in the Deux Alpes, they've got around 180 centimetres on their upper slopes, and 20 centimetres on their lower slopes. Further south is where it starts to get interesting. Isla 2000 are still reporting an upper base of 65 centimetres and 50 centimetres in resort, but of course that's before the recent snowfall has been taken into account. So when this latest storm has blown through, you can expect those numbers to be much higher than they currently are right now. Likewise in Limone, Piemonte, they're currently reporting 100 centimetres on their upper slopes and 50 centimetres on their lower slopes, but again, they're getting dumped on there right now, so those figures are going to increase a lot over the next few days. Something a bit closer to home for my UK-based viewers. Until fairly recently, it was still possible to ski with lift serve skiing on Cairngorm Mountain, barring the occasional storm-bound day. But they have now had to close, having lost a lot of their snow that they got earlier in the month. But they hope to reopen again the beginner area down at the base station on man-made snow ahead of the Christmas holidays. Likewise, Glenshee hopes to be able to offer limited skiing on man-made snow on a couple of their beginner runs from the 20th of December. And at Glencoe Mountain, they plan to push out the snow on their sledging slope also on the 20th of December, so while there'll be no lift serve skiing available up there, it will be possible to sledge and play in the snow on their beginners area on the sledging slope. There is also now some real snow in the forecast there as well, so there may well be possibilities for tourers in the not too distant future as well. So that's just about it from another week in the Alps. Keep doing those snow dances, but fingers crossed, we are set to see a return to something a bit more wintry just around the corner, so hopefully next time you hear from me, I'll have something a bit more promising to be talking about. A big thank you to my friends at Salesy Online for their contribution this week. Hopefully that'll continue throughout the rest of the season. If you are planning to go to the Via Latia at all this year, then I highly recommend checking out their channel as well and keeping up to date with their much more detailed snow reports for that region. But other than that, for the rest of you, you'll be hearing from me again very, very shortly.